Welcome to the Cinefied Podcast, the show where we enlighten you on what film to watch next by breaking it down so you can decide if you should see it in theaters or wait to watch it at home. I am Cassie Hager, a contributor for Cinefied. Also this week's host. Joining me are fellow members of the Cinefied team, our editor-in-chief Connor, as well as Kevin and Dempsey. Today we're talking about The Long Walk, a dystopian thriller based on the story by Stephen King, brought to the big screen by director Francis Lawrence. It was released this weekend. It's already receiving a ton of acclaim by people like us for its emotional elements, as well as the many wonderful performances by the cast, most notably David Johnson, Cooper Hoffman, of course. Let's not forget my mother and yours, the great Judy Greer, who is exceptional in this movie. So the plot synopsis is a group of teens participates in a grueling high-stakes contest in which they must walk or be shot if they fall below 3 miles per hour. The walking continues until there's only one boy left, who is then declared the winner and gets a cash prize and one wish fulfilled. You can, of course, see Connor's full review on Cinefied.com, but here is an excerpt. Connor says Mike Flanagan had said in an interview earlier this year that The Long Walk was going to be, quote, impossible to adapt. Francis Lawrence has made the impossible possible with this bleak and incredibly brutal adaptation that had me nervous for each and every one of the walkers. Okay, so before we get into our spoiler-free thoughts, Connor, you wrote the review, so do you want to share yours first?
Yeah, I give it a full popcorn. I think it's a must-see. I think that this is a great year to be a Stephen King fan because there have been multiple great adaptations that have come out recently.
Well, there's also been some news recently that may not be otherwise a great Stephen King fan, but go on.
You know what? I think I'm unaware. So, but as far as the film adaptations go, I think that this is a very strong one. It's not my favorite of the three that came out this year, but it's very much up there. And there's a lot of emotional depth with these characters. I love the two main actors and their connection. And it's just an incredibly brutal experience from beginning to end. And I am surprised that they were able to make a film about people walking and getting shot. Like, it's just so impossible to look away from. But yeah, definitely a must for me.
So what is your favorite then? You said it's not your favorite. I need to know your favorite.
But The Life of Chuck.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I go Life of Chuck, The Long Walk, The Monkey.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Dempsey, why don't you go ahead and give us your rating?
I loved this movie. I kind of knew what to expect. I mean, it's Francis Lawrence who did The Hunger Games. If you've seen anything in the battle royale genre, including the Japanese movie Battle Royale, you kind of know what to expect. You know, the kids getting picked off, usually is one survivor. It's become so ingrained in our pop culture that we don't even realize that shows like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor are kind of, in essence, battle royale TV, which I think Americans just love that stuff. So I went into this, I was like, okay, there's no way they can do anything that's going to blow me away, knowing what to expect. And I was just blown away. I give it a full popcorn. The ending, I'm still up in the air about, but I'm sure we will talk about. But yeah, absolutely love this movie.
All right.
It's just like Fortnite.
Kevin.
Exactly.
You're up next. What do you think?
I give it a full popcorn. I really like it. I'm not in love with it, but I do think it's a very easy recommendation to everyone. I think I consider it to be like a platonically ideal of a great movie. You can enjoy it no matter what level of engagement you go into it with. Even if you go purely surface level, the drama is very compelling and the plot is easy to follow along. The premise is very simple. It's just the execution is very engaging. So for that, I give it a full popcorn.
All right. I mean, it's going to be full popcorns across the board then. We're sounding like broken records, but I too would give it a full popcorn. I mean, what a great movie. I think I started crying within the first 5 minutes and I did not stop until after the movie was over. I mean, it really affected me. So yeah, I mean, I had high expectations and they were met and exceeded, I would say. So yeah, we got 4 full popcorns here for
The long
the
week.
long walk. Yeah.
I'm gonna real quick.
So I am wondering, I never read the book. Have any of you read the book? Because I'd love to know if you have. Okay, you have, Kevin. Tell me how it
Yeah.
compares.
Oh, so keep in mind that I read the book back when I was in high school, so a little over a decade ago. So I did try to do some rereading of the key elements of the book in prep for this podcast. Generally, it is about the same. The movie is definitely more dialogue heavy, which it kind of needs to be for this medium when you're adapting the story. Because a lot of the book is very introspective. A lot of it's about sensory details and like kind of like details about the world. There is still like drama and characters. Like most of the story still plays out exactly the same. However, the ending is completely different. So that's something that we'll talk about more when we get to spoiler territory. Because I do think because the book is more a pointed response on one event back when the book came out, whereas a long walk, its themes are a bit more generalized, so maybe it doesn't feel as pointed, at least to me, but it still does something interesting that keeps it within the same themes of the original story. So that's kind of the main difference of between the book and the movie. However, if people are wanting a deep analysis of the adaptation, this is probably not it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I might read it now. Yeah, Dempsey, what's up?
Well, I just want to interject because I didn't read the book, but I always do this whenever like I watch a movie based on something that I have no idea what it's about. I wanted to compare the two. There are some major differences that I think we should clarify, right? And I think Connor, we were talking a little bit about this after we recorded last week's episode. Originally in the book is 100 participants, right? In the movie it's 50.
Oh yeah, there's some logistical things changed just for like budget constraints or like just to make things easier to follow in the movie.
The speed, right? The speed is also decreased.
Yep. It's from 5 miles per hour to 3 miles per hour.
And then isn't there like a third major change too?
Yeah, it's something like it's just one of those things where it's like it's more of a like a logistical thing than like an actual like changing the themes of the story or anything like that. So I mean it's like it's nothing crazy,
but just I just wanted to clarify, just for general, like for people who may not have read the book, just to let them understand that there was a lot removed or formatted to, as you said, for this particular medium. Because I do agree that for a movie about walking, this movie flows so well. Like the first 10 minutes, I was like, I don't think they're going to be able to keep my attention for this long if it's just them walking. But it's so compelling and it's so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and this is kind of like speaking a little bit more on the adaptation process. So, like, when Stephen King is writing this book, I mean, obviously you try to do your research beforehand, but sometimes you think of a number, you're like, that sounds reasonable, and then you just put it in. And then you get on when you're filming the movie, you're on set, you try to do it for real. You're like, man, 5 miles per hour is pretty fast. Like we gotta slow this down.
Yeah, for sure. 3 miles, I think, would be a lot more manageable for a lot of people.
Even if you do 3 miles per hour on a treadmill, you're like, this is a little faster than I was expecting.
Yeah, totally.
I think one of because I'm a little less than halfway through the book right now, and one of the big standouts of difference beyond like the order that people have died is that Garrity, the main character, he doesn't have a girlfriend in the movie, but he has a girlfriend in the book.
Right.
And that's like that comes up multiple times throughout the book. And he has like the guilt because they kind of, I heard they like merged kind of like the girlfriend and the mom into a single character.
Exactly. Like once you get closer to the end of the book, you'll see like exactly where they merge. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But no, that's really the only thing so far besides the order that people have been killed that's really stood out as different. So, but I'm only halfway through.
Okay.
I mean, if we're on the topic, do we want to talk about the ending?
I mean, we can dive into the spoilers. I mean, that's Cassie.
Cassie.
Have you had a chance to read the book?
No, I haven't, but like I probably will now just because I'm very curious. But
it's a short book. It's a novella technically, so it's like little less than around 200 pages roughly.
Oh,
maybe I have maybe I have the wrong copy of the book. Mine's 400 pages.
What?
Wait, is it 400
Are you reading
pages?
the right book, Connor?
Maybe you're reading like a trade paperback or something. Let me double check the page count on this one.
I mean, the
That's
book
too
you just
funny.
picked up looked pretty thick.
Well, it's all of his
Oh,
Bachman
okay.
books in one. So
Oh, the Running Man's in there too.
yeah, Running Man's in there too. Yeah, you guys go ahead. I'll find out the page count.
Okay. Well, I mean, we were going to. One of my final questions was going to be about the relationship between Peter and Ray, which I think maybe they made the girlfriend stuff a little less of a point because they wanted to make more of a connection between the two male characters. That's what I think, but we'll get there.
It's my understanding that in the book, one of them professes romantic feelings for the other, and isn't like Ray's sexuality up in the air too. I was just reading a lot of different.
It
like,
sure seemed like it in the movie.
analysis.
I mean, it
Yeah.
sure seemed like.
Yeah.
But
Well, so keep in mind the book was written in like the 70s ish. It was Stephen King's
I
first
heard-
book that he wrote
yeah,
when he
that's
was
what I
in he first wrote it when he was a freshman in college, and I think it wasn't published until I think it was technically his third published book or second under his Richard Bachman name. Which Connor, my edition has it just under 300 pages.
Okay. So maybe
But
I
that's
just
also
have
like a little bit
smaller,
like bigger page size. I guess if you do it in mass market paperbacks, probably would be close to like 350, 400. So
yeah.
I guess not a novella. I guess it is technically a novel. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, so like what I would bring up about being the time period it came out in, like Stephen King always does it in his early work, where it's like he hints that some of these characters are gay, but like due to like the social climate, whatever, it's like it's like he's not always fully in on it, fully revealed on that. But that's kind of the movie. It makes it way more apparent.
Yeah, way more. One of my favorite comments that I've seen about this movie is someone said, "I've seen gay porn that's straighter than The Long Walk."
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair.
Let's see. Okay, so I would love to get into one thing. I know I did this with weapons too. I love an allegory. Like for me, it's like every movie I watch, especially if it's a horror movie, I feel like it's always a metaphor or an allegory for something else. As far as I know, the book was pretty heavily implied to be like an allegory for war, and that's what I've seen a lot of people saying. I very much saw it as the Long Walk being an allegory for like a human's lifespan. And I'll tell you why, especially because the people who sort of get killed off early on are very angry about it. They're screaming out, it's not fair, because they sort of represent the younger people who haven't gotten to live a full life. And then the people who last longer, toward the end, they're very tired, and they would represent like an older person who's gotten to live a long life, and maybe they're more comfortable with the fact that it's coming to an end. I'm also dealing with very sick parents right now, so maybe my brain is just in that mindset right now. But that's kind of how it spoke to me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If anyone like has any thoughts on what this movie meant to them, Connor.
I mean, I definitely get exactly what you're saying. I don't know if I saw it to that length. I feel like definitely. I mean, I believe it's supposed to be close, like kind of like an alternative to like the Vietnam War kind of. And I mean, it's definitely like a draft kind of deal, except as they state, they kind of voluntarily put their names in, but they feel like they have to put their names in. I don't know if I fully beyond the draft part. I don't know if I fully like connected to what you were saying, but I understand like why you would get that out of it. But that's what I got on my side.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the draft definitely makes sense too. I think it can probably be read in a lot of different ways, which is probably what makes it so impactful.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm with Connor on this one. Because I mean, like, because the original story is a direct response to the Vietnam War. where it is like we're sending these young men out and we're promising riches in return. During that time, America was also going through an economic struggle as well. So it's like when you're living a life in economic struggle, you see like the promise of like the military, the benefits and everything. It's like that just seems like the best way to go. So even though it's voluntary, you're still subliminally forced to kind of sign up for it, which is kind of like how the long walk kind of explains how people sign up for the competition. I do like again, like I as with Connor, I see how it could be interpreted about life. I think the movie, especially the ending, makes it generally about enlisting in war, where it's like it is about everyone signing up together. They know it's a mission that they know they're going to die, or at least not. Most of them are not going to live, but they still build a brotherhood bond over it. But I think the ending, which I guess we'll go into spoiler territory now. Yeah, the ending where I'm blanking this character's name, the survivor, the winner. He wins the long walk, but he still ends up exactly where he started, always on the run, where like he went through war and got, he's like he got congratulated and everything. There was fanfare, fireworks, but it changed him, and in the end still doesn't support him. So that's kind of my interpretation of the long walk.
It's Peter McVeers.
Yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
Dempsey, what's up?
I agree with you, Cassie.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying that you got that Connor and Kevin are wrong. I could very clearly.
I mean, you can. I mean, I don't really care.
Wrong. No, I very clearly see the war analogy. Even the tone, the way they're dressed, they look like soldiers, like
the dog tags,
hipped up soldiers, the dog tags, the chains. But like honestly, the war thing was what I was like going on the whole time. But when Cassie said it right now, it like my egg-shaped head cracked open, and I saw it.
And you see it, yeah.
I see like, and it goes back to like I always love these lines. I always find that movies, the writers will throw in one line in the movies. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not, and I think it tells you everything you need to know about the movie. When Olsen dies, played by Ben Wang, he's getting shot. You could very faintly hear him because they're a little bit farther ahead of him. I did it wrong. I did it all wrong. That's what he's saying. I did it all wrong. It's almost like he knows that he's made the mistake. And it's something that's touched upon later when Peter and Ray are talking about saying, like, that's why I live moment to moment. Because that's all we have sometimes.
Yeah.
We can't look back on literally they can't go back. And I think that's exactly what this life is about. And it's something else. The kid from Jojo Rabbit, who I was pleasantly surprised to see in this, Roman Pharaoh Griff, whatever the Roman, little Jojo. He's the first one to die in this movie. And it's very much implied that he's younger than he should be participating in this. He doesn't have the strength and the stamina to participate. But the fact that he's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, I just think those little things strongly support what Cassie's saying about this being really about life. And that sometimes, even when you have all these miles ahead and you think you can make it, sometimes something else cuts short. And maybe it's not your fault that you're on that path. Maybe it is. But you got to deal with the cards you're dealt. So totally agree with you, Cassie.
Exactly.
I think there's evidence that definitely supports both ideas. But my question is, based on that allegory, though, what are your guys' interpretation of the ending?
My interpretation of the ending, as I was sitting in the theater, when the final two were approaching and the crowds were gathered and cheering them on, it reminded me of like when a person is dying and in their final days, when everyone comes to see them and support them. And then in the end, when there was one person left, it's like, in the end, we're all we have. And we're, at the end of this life, it's really just us. That was my interpretation.
So it's actually funny because I thought of this, but now I think it makes even more sense to what Cassie was saying. I think that Peter's dead at the end.
Oh.
Because after he shoots the major and they show the path ahead of him,
There was no one there.
There's no one there.
I did think that too.
All
yeah.
the soldiers are gone. There's no more. There is music, but there's no sound. Like before, you hear all the fanfare and the fireworks, as you said, and no one's there. So I think up until a certain point, it is real. But I think the moment he kills the major, if he manages to kill the major, I think that's him dead. And I think that the ending is telling us that, we live our long lives, and sometimes we do achieve what we want, and people are able to learn certain lessons from the mistakes that we made, but sometimes it just leads to the same cycle. And as you said, he's still got that path ahead of him, one way or the other. So that was my interpretation. Don't know how I feel about it though.
Yeah, I mean, and that interpretation is very similar to how the book ends, because the book ends very ambiguously with Garrity allegedly winning the race. But like, it's the way Stephen King crafts it. It's where like it's almost like a stream of consciousness situation, where it's like he sees the cars pull up, he sees the major there to congratulate him, he hears the fireworks and stuff like that. He feels like he's about to keel over and die from exhaustion. But then like, and then there's like this metaphorical hand that is trying to grab his shoulder, which is potentially like death at his door. But then like once he feels the hand on his shoulder, he suddenly feels the energy to run again. And that's literally how the book ends. So it's like, it's very ambiguous. And I think it kind of leans very much to your interpretation, Dempsey.
Interesting.
So I like that. I guess when I watched it, I took it as that, and there's a bit of it that goes into what Dempsey was saying, that it's kind of like he does have just the one path and he has to keep going on it. But that I felt like when he completed his task, he had completed what he was going on this walk for, and he finished his and Garrity's basically job at the end of this, like to kill the major. That was Garrity's thing, and as a friend he completed that. I took it as that as soon as he finished that, he disassociated from reality, and he essentially just clocked everything out of his mind and is just looking at the path ahead from there on. I mean, I do think that, I mean, there's always, they leave it up obviously to interpretation on what is going to happen. I thinking about it, I do see like that he could possibly be dead at that point, or dying, or maybe, and that's what's causing him to disassociate with, maybe he's been shot after I do 100% think he killed the major. So in the end of it, but as far as like from where he is completely disassociated with reality, that could be he's been shot, he's been stabbed, he's dying. Or he could just be fine and just going at it because he knows he's now alone, because he doesn't have anyone anymore. So, but that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. That was awesome, you guys. Great. Yeah. A lot of great insight there. Let's
I've
see.
talked about movies once or twice.
I know. Yeah. We know what we're doing. All right. So favorite performance. I mean, this one's so hard, but if you have to pick a favorite performance, wow, out of the entire film, who would you pick? I have to go with Judy, just because she stands out so much to me. God, I love her so much. She's so talented. I don't know how someone can be both so funny and such a wonderful dramatic actress at the same time. She's just, everyone knows I love Judy Greer.
Yeah, no, and she's a great person. I can speak that on experience on that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never gotten to talk to her, but maybe someday.
Can I ask, Cassie, what was your first kind of like recognition of her? Like for me, it was Archer. Like Archer is like when I learned who she was, and then went from there.
When I was like in college, she always played like the best friend in movies. She was in like The Wedding Planner and stuff, and people would
13 going on 30.
Yes, and people would tell me that I looked like her. They'd be like, "You look like that one actress who always plays like the funny friend." And so that's kind of why like I felt so like endeared to her, and so I've just kind of like followed her career, and she's just so talented, and I just love her. Yeah. So that's why. Probably because people started telling me I lived like her when I was like 18.
The parasocial bond was born.
Exactly. And that's why she's my mother.
You just really see yourself as the main character of this movie.
I don't. No, I'm the funny friend sidekick of the movie, like her.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so that's my pick. I mean, as everyone was so phenomenal, it's like almost impossible to pick, but I just have to shout out Judy Greer because she's just so amazing in this movie. So let's see, Connor. Oh,
do you personally do you personally feel like, because she's only in this film for 10-ish minutes, and I've heard people talking on socials and on other podcasts about her performance and how it should be awards worthy, and because of how limited, you got
like best supporting actress.
It's like supporting. I don't see it to that extent, but I was wondering if you saw it there, because I don't think this film is really in the talks for
awards
anything.
Contention. I've been wondering that too. Yeah. I mean, it's hard with this genre, right? Because a lot of the time it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. Do I think she's good enough? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I do. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But yeah.
Gotcha. I was just curious. Yeah, because Lionsgate is not, as far as I know, I don't know if they've really had it for your consideration to run on really anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely horror. Warner Brothers, for instance, is going hard on horror this year. You got the Sinners that they're doing a big campaign, and Weapons. So I mean, if Lionsgate wanted to, they could definitely go for performances, I think. But
I think they could too. Yeah.
But as far as my favorite performance, I really liked Ben Wang. I just recently, before watching this, actually saw his performance in. I'm an outsider as far as liking the new Karate Kid. I thought he was really good in it, and I really loved his performance here. I just, something about it just stood out to me. Just like his exhaustion, but then he's able to just kind of pull himself out of it, and you just see him continuously getting more and more drained as the walk goes on, and then he just basically he crashes, and he's just like, I'm done, and as we mentioned, I mean, he has like that moment where he's just like, I did it all wrong, so I just think obviously I love the two leads, but I just really liked Ben Wang. And also the trailer had a cut where it's like one of those Mandela effect thing where I thought he died. I thought he ran off and got shot. So
oh, really?
So I was like, because I wasn't at that part. I'm still not at that part of the book of where he dies yet. But I did think that he was the character that ran off towards the convenience stores and got shot. And I was like, well, that sucks, because I was looking forward to seeing him. But
okay, let's see. Kevin, how about you?
Yeah, I would say my favorite performance was Dave Johnson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
No, he was he did absolutely fantastic work. Like really, like, I don't know, if it just, the emotions felt so raw coming from him. Even just facial performance, eye acting, inflection, it was all so like you really feel his story when he's just saying it, which is interesting. Like they don't even have to show what his background was like or anything like that. Like he just tells you what it is, and you like the way he delivers it, you're like, wow, I feel like I just lived it with him. Like that's crazy. But yeah, no, I think Dave Johnson's definitely my number one. Ben Wang was definitely my number two. He felt like he felt like a character that was truly written in like a kid's movies in like the 70s or 80s, where it's like a Goonies type vibe, where it's a kid with a little bit of an edge to them. That was really interesting. And I cringed every time I saw him walking in Converse. I'm like, dude, really? Like that's the shoes you pick for the long walk?
I would not pick Converse.
Like, especially white ones too. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
No spoken like a shoe store worker.
Yeah, no wonder he was getting Charlie Horses so early. There's no supporting those.
Definitely. All right, Dempsey.
So I like Judy Greer. I'm also a big Judy Greer fan. don't think she's as Oscar worthy in this as she was in, like, let's say a movie like The Descendants.
Okay.
Going that way back, but I do think I feel like maybe she had a little bit more screen time. She would be in a conversation. But then again, I don't really think there's any like really strong supporting actresses so far this season. But I liked the two leads. Cooper and Dave are like absolute movie stars.
Yeah.
If you didn't know who they were before this, if you didn't see Rye Lane or Licorice Pizza or the last Alien movie, like this movie perfectly puts them both at the forefront. My goat though was Art. Am I the only one who like was really compelled by the church kid, like the religious kid?
No, I mean that he was pretty good too.
So like before this, I hate watching like going online before I see a movie, and I saw a lot of people talking about the I forget what the kid's name, the one that was writing the book.
Yes.
They were like, oh man, yo, you broke my heart in this movie, and I'm expecting for him to be like a breakout star. And he dies like in the first 30 minutes.
He's still really good. That's just it. Like no one is bad in this movie.
Yeah,
Everyone's really good in there.
Right. That's very true. Yeah, because it's. I mean, since we're talking about awards too, it's like there's nothing bad in this movie, but like I don't think this is going to be much of an awards movie.
Yeah.
At least to me, like nothing stands out as like exceptionally great, amazing filmmaking that's mind blowing. It is just kind of like. It's just an all-around great movie. Like again, like it's a very palatable, great movie that you can recommend to a lot of people. I think will stay in the cultural zeitgeist, but I just don't see it being award worthy. If that makes sense.
It's valid, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dempsey, were you done talking?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I regularly interrupt him all the time.
Okay, so most important question. Peter and Ray, were they in love with each other? I think yes. Like there was definitely something there.
They were besties, Your Honor.
I think there was definitely right? Like yeah, there was something there.
There was an awakening happening.
Yeah, I think so too. It was beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's an easy question.
I think if you so I don't think it's as heavily implied as I think it is in the book, even though Kevin says it's, Stephen King still had to like hide it in there because of the time that it was released. But it goes back to like also something that Peter says. He's like, we've been walking this road for like a few days. I've been walking this road my whole life. And take out of the equation the fact that he's black. What else could that mean? Like if he wasn't black, like could that mean that because he was an orphan? Could it mean that he's gay? So I think the possibility that he kind of has that love, I think it makes his decision at the end even stronger. And it also, if you want to factor that in, it makes their relationship, I guess, more beautiful.
Yeah, Garrity knew what the optics would look like if he decided to win the long walk. So that's why he took a
opted
moment.
out.
So you know what? I don't want to be canceled. So
I actually, you joke, but I think that's the reason why they changed the ending. I'm not even kidding.
No,
really?
I fully believe it. I fully believe it.
I was thinking, I was like I'm 90% sure that Cooper's gonna win this thing, but at the same time, if he lets the black guy die, like that is not gonna like I can see
the optics would not play well at all.
True.
So.
Yeah.
I do want to say I fully believe that was in consideration in pre-production.
I agree.
When they were writing it. I had that thought for sure.
Did you ever if they were going to change the ending? Like I know they brought it up in the movie, and I am sure they brought it up in the book. But what if they would have ended it where they both felt down together or something? And then obviously they mentioned that they have the optics, they have all of they know who lost, but then just leave it up to, just you don't know who won. They fell at the same time. And then it's just I mean,
I like that they were ballsy enough to do a clear winner.
Yeah. But because then again, that's the whole turning point of the Hunger Games too, where it's Katniss and Peter are like, oh, if we die at the same time, then there is no winner. So I feel so it's oh well, that plot's kind of already been done in the same genre, so it's let's just let's change it. And I think also again that I think if them falling down together, so there's no clear winner, I think also removes the military theme from this, because that makes it more of a game situation. whereas like continuing where it is one survivor left, I think keep where it's like the one person that came back from war. I think that's still much stronger to its themes.
Okay, got it.
I also just want to add, so I know I mentioned this before. I wasn't a biggest fan of the ending, or at least I'm still processing it. But I think it would have been a much stronger ending if we didn't see him kill the major. Like, a part of me was hoping that the minute he pointed the gun, just wait a few beats and then cut to black. I think that would have been so much stronger, because then you really think, is he going to waste? He's already wasted his wish. Is he going to waste his, new life on, wasting this guy? I don't know. That's just me. So yeah,
I'm just immediately, when you're describing that, I'm thinking of the one season finale of Breaking Bad where Aaron Paul's pointing the gun at whatever his name is, and it cuts the black, and you hear the gunshot, and you're like, did he do it?
Yeah, and then the Long Walk 2 starts immediately with like he shoots, he pulls the trigger, but it's empty.
An even longer walk. Is that the
yeah?
sequel?
He has to go on a longer walk to redeem himself.
Oh, I also wanted to say, I don't know if you guys are all on like TikTok or whatever, but if anyone needs a palate cleanser after watching this, because it's so sad, there was a lot of really cute behind the scenes stuff of all the guys like joking around and stuff on set. That is so adorable. It really made me feel a lot better when I got out of the movie to see them all alive and happy and like laughing and stuff.
Maybe that's what they should do at the credits for this movie, where it's like they have the behind the scenes footage playing during the credits.
For real.
Everyone's okay.
Yeah,
just war is not important. Everyone's okay.
do a big like that anyone but you type thing where they're just singing a song together.
Yeah, there's a whole dance party and everything.
Yeah. Oh my god, they do like Hey Mickey, like bring it on.
I do think that all the performances are incredible, but the one thing I think this film really does nail, and JT Molnar nails, is the camaraderie. I went to an all-boys school, some Dempsey lore for you guys. I went to an all-boy high school, and it was like that. We're like, literally, sometimes we're all joking with each other, and yeah, we hate you today, but we'll hang out with you tomorrow. The one scene that killed me is when they're calling themselves the Three Musketeers, and then that other random kid comes up, and Peter's like, "Get out of here, man! We weren't talking about." That's exactly how it is, and I feel like that's what makes you really fall in love with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And I'm wondering what John thinks of this movie as a veteran, because I feel like that camaraderie, at least you see it a lot in war movies. I have not ever been in the military myself. I only know friends who've been to the military, but like a lot of that camaraderie is built. It's trauma bonding, and that's what it is, and that's what the Long Walk kind of goes on. But it's also like, it also kind of tells a story about how, like, even though these people are doomed to die, they are still deserving of like love and camaraderie, companionship, and like they, and then like we as people like strive for that, so we find it wherever we can. But like that's I mean, that also kind of goes into like what your Dempsey and Cassie's interpretation as well, where like where there are some people that do have like chronic illnesses or like even cancer, or like they're just kind of sentenced to death even though they're still alive, but like they are still deserving of living, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nicely said, Kevin. All right. I think that's all my questions. Does anyone else have anything they want to say?
What shoes would you wear to the Long Walk?
Oh, of course. Most important.
The most important question.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've already said Ugg boots, and I meant that when I said that. A good pair of Uggs will last you like a decade in Wisconsin winter. So
how do Uggs feel though on the inside? I've never worn Uggs before.
Oh, they're like Sherpa lined or whatever they're called. Yeah, like faux like sheepskin kind of.
Okay, so like your archers are like collapsing.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's worth it. I don't know. I love my Uggs, so that's still my answer.
One of my coworkers at the shoe store I work at, she was saying that like she would just wear like the nicest shoes she has, because like she knows she's not gonna make it. She would just immediately die. So
cute pair of heels.
They're die just wearing something nice and like favorable.
I mean, valid.
Yeah, so I was asking around my coworkers. I mean, we mostly talked about it's like, well, it needs to be a good supportive shoe, even though you don't need support because after a while your arches are going to be collapsing. You also want something soft. So we were talking about like a supportive Hoka shoe that's like nice and soft, but also has like the rounded bottom, so that way you can like you're still keeping your momentum of walking. One of my coworker mentioned using a trail shoe, so that's water resistant and sturdier. Something that has a little bit of a wider shape to it too, because your feet are going to be like bloated by the end of it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of been the consensus of my day job.
I feel like that makes sense, right? Like a walking shoe or even like a hiking type shoe, maybe, right?
Yeah, well, something like, something that's water resistant and waterproof. I would lean more water resistant for the rain because you still want that breathability that waterproof shoes don't provide. I'm like being way more technical.
No, I love it. I love it. It's so great. It's so great.
But it was one of those questions. I was asking it to be funny at work, but then like we ended up talking about it for like a good hour.
Right. That's so great. I love it.
I don't know. I think you should just do it in style. Wear Crocs with all the jewels or gems or whatever.
See, here's the thing: Crocs would actually get you farther than you would expect.
I believe it. They'd probably be sturdy. Like
they're sturdier. They still have support in them, but they're comfortable. So like they'll at least get you the first 300 miles.
I mean, you should get shot for wearing Crocs, though, right? That would disqualify you.
Wear Crocs with socks in the rain.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I feel like realistically, I would be the one guy that shows up in Heelys. Be like, I didn't say I couldn't wheel the whole way, And
yeah, you get shot immediately as you start wheeling.
I'll be like,
they don't even give you a warning. As soon as they see you gliding without moving your legs, they'll be like, you know what?
or they
termination.
Or they let it go and you haven't done it in like however long. You just fully like banana like peel it and just
you end up killing yourself, like cracking your skull open.
Yeah, that's my decision. I'm sorry, but that's the way I would
go. Wow.
The circling back, we talked about our favorite character, but I am curious, like, was there a character that like really got on your nerves, like, or like grinded you? Because it was purposeful with the script. Obviously, the two that you're supposed to I don't know if 100% hate, but just have kind of like grudges towards because how they treat the main characters are Charlie Plummer's character of Gary and also Stebbins. So for me, it was, Charlie Plummer's, it's like Brockovich. He definitely became my least favorite. And even like near the end where he's definitely like, he's trying to become friends and join their musketeer group. And then he just kind of goes crazy there. I'm just wondering, do you guys agree with like who would, if you had to choose, for instance, between going the rest of the way with Brockovich or Stebbins, and you didn't have, you're one of these two leads, which one would you go the rest of the way with? Who do you think you could?
I mean, I think I would choose Stebbins. I would trust over the other one. He kind of redeemed himself toward the end there.
Stebbins mostly kept to himself.
Yeah.
That's kind of the main deciding factor. Which also Charlie Plummer was another standout for me too. Like I'm a fan of his work, but also like this movie, I was like, man, he's a menace. Yeah. But like, no, his character is very unlikable, intentionally so. And like the fact that you feel so like, wow, I hate this guy only speaks testament to his performance.
He reminded me very much of like a younger Evan Peters. Like I feel like I could see his career going that way. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna become Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Is he at all related to Christopher?
I don't think so.
I think
they played that movie together, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I just thought that. So I was like, well, that'd be interesting to have two legendary actors.
Baby
there's a lot of Nepo babies out there, so I'm not surprised that you assume that because I do sometimes too.
Do you think just trying to off the top of my head, because I'm curious, do you think that David Johnson's character or Johnson's character or performance more so than character is better here or in Alien? Because I think Alien is miles more than here, but I think he's great here. But I think his Alien performance deserved award recognition.
Have not seen it, so I'll defer to you guys.
He stood out more to me here than an Alien.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Alien Romulus is a movie that I like it a lot, but like nothing really particularly stands out to me. I mean, I guess I said the same thing about The Long Walk, but The Long Walk has more like distinctive features that like stand out to me a bit more.
Okay.
The Alien, I do think he does. He's given a lot more to do, right? Because he plays two characters essentially, and he has to flip back and forth between them. Sorry, Cassie. You'll understand if you see.
That's okay.
The movie.
Oh, it's fine.
But here, I feel like he's like like, not to say that his character in Alien is one dimensional, but here I feel like he's able to like physically do more. We're able to see him really dive in, and I think Kevin said it perfectly earlier. Where like when he talks, it's like you're watching his lips move, you're hearing his words, but he's really able to paint a picture about who he is and what he's done. And he just feels so much more fleshed out. And honestly, like if I was a Hollywood executive that had never heard of Cooper, for some reason I had never heard of Cooper Hoffman or David before this weekend, and I saw them in this movie, I would be getting both of their agents on the phone. They would be like absolute stars for like the next decade. They are so incredible here.
Yeah, no, they are both, definitely terrific. And definitely in that Hulu original, I can't remember what it's called, that David did with
Rye Lane, amazing movie.
Yeah. So which that one, it's a great, it's marketed, I think, as a pure comedy, but it's definitely a dramedy. And but it's great performance from him. So definitely 3 for 3 as far as films I've seen him in. So that's all I got.
Cassie, would you know that David is British by watching him in this movie?
I didn't know until I watched those little behind the scenes clips.
Right?
Yeah. No, I had no
is.
idea. Yeah. Good American accent for sure. Yeah, he's awesome.
Do you think, just going off the director, right? So Francis Lawrence, and as we've mentioned, Hunger Games, would you say that he rightfully took on this job? Like, do you think it's too similar to the Hunger Games, or like, because I think like his previous work with the Hunger Games helped him make this film.
I think so too. Well, it's funny. One of the criticisms I saw, and like Dempsey, you were talking about how, he paints a picture with his words, his storytelling, and someone was like, "Oh, there should have been more visual storytelling, like more flashbacks." And I was like, I totally disagree because the challenge, the challenge is like they're telling their stories. Yeah.
There's a review in the Washington Post. I can't remember the critic's name, and I don't want to put them on blast and cause controversy between Cinefied and Amazon.
I think it'll be fine.
Daddy Bezos, please buy us. But he was saying like, there's just too much talking in this movie. I'm like,
it's like, come on.
like, I felt like the flashback. There's 2 flashbacks, and they're extremely brief in this movie. But I felt like even that was too many, because it's meant to really get you into the mindset of walking. Like you are getting tired with these characters as you are watching them walk, because that's how the book's written too.
And you're meeting everyone along with them. Yeah, I know.
It's not like we're standing still and then like the camera's in one spot like a play where characters come in and out of the single location. Like no, we're constantly on the move.
This person said that they needed better world building, and I'm like, no, the world is the road. Like that is the world in this movie, and that's really intentional.
I don't know. I mean, there's a whole, I can talk hours on this because there's a whole book talk controversy and everything about like, oh, this is how fantasy is supposed to be and how you do world building, stuff like that. It's like you only need to show the audience as much as they need to know to understand it. Like Brandon Sanderson, like the current modern fantasy writer, like he says that he only shows like 10% of his worlds at most in like a 1,000-page book. And like when you read one of his books, you're like, there's intentionally gaps in the world building so that way the reader's imagination can fill those gaps and feel more involved in the storytelling. And The Long Walk is like this as well. Like you understand that like this is an America the way that is put into so much poverty, that like the only way to not be living in poverty is by being in part of the government, and that's it, and like or winning the long walk, which is kind of like, you know, why everyone there's that conversation. It's like, oh, why does everyone volunteer even though it's not mandatory? It's because they're kind of the world has kind of forced them to be like that because
there's no better option. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. They just give it the illusion of choice essentially, and that's a strong piece of world building right there. Like, I don't need to know who the president of this world is. I don't need to know what Congress looks like. I don't need to know what the trade wars look like. I don't need to know. You only know as much as you need to know, and that's it. That's world building. That's really effective world building.
Yeah.
And the last thing I kind of want to ask is, was there a death in this film that really stuck with you? I believe you three saw it these last few days, correct? Like, solid. Is there, since you got out of the theater, is there a particular death that like it could still be with you or it impacted you really hard while you were watching? My two, and hopefully I'll just say one, just because I don't want to take the most vicious death, or just from a visual standpoint, and maybe it's just I have a fear of being ran over. I don't know, but the tank scene where the guy gets shoved down and ran over by the tank, that scene was brutal to me, and that one has stayed with me 3 weeks after seeing it at a press screening. So
the reason why that one's so brutal is not because of I think the tank running over him. It's because they're still warning, get up. They're like telling him to get up.
I know. It's like he literally cannot. Like you don't have to rub it in.
Like sickly apathetic. And that happens multiple times where it's like they count the warnings when the guy's like this, just put him out of his misery. Right. It's like just like this is sick. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was Ben Wong's character's death. I felt like that was the one that kind of impacted me the most. You know, just him shouting, or we mentioned this character earlier, but the guy that kind of tells him, "Don't look back, don't watch them."
That's what I was going to say.
That one really
his character's name was.
That one made me.
That was real. That's his real name. His character's name is Arthur.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I was going to say Arthur simply because I thought about this when I was leaving the theater, but he takes off his necklace and gives it to Ray and says, "Can you give this to my grandmother?" So when Ray died, I was like, no, I was like, I thought about that. I was like, who's going to give the necklace to his grandmother because he died? And, you know, and Peter didn't take the necklace from him. So that kind of bummed me out a little bit, honestly.
I was expecting at least that to happen, but you know, it is what it is. You're caught up in the moment of winning and tired from walking like 450 miles or whatever. And you're like, you know what? I'm too tired to pick up a necklace.
It's like, I get it, but still, I did. I had that thought as I was walking out. I was like, oh, grandma's not getting the necklace.
Did anyone else find, I mean, aside from the tank death, this is the one that I was like, with my luck, this will probably happen to me. The guy who had to take a massive dump and just could not do it. And I was just like, oh, come on.
Like, I know. Like, imagine getting shot in the head just because you're pooping.
They weren't prepared. They needed the pants with like the butt flaps. So
or like wear a diaper or something. I don't know.
That was my brutal.
With a diaper, you have to change it once in a while though, because you're going like 4 or 5 days. So I mean, just get one with like a good zipper in the front, a good flap in the back, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, jeez. It was interesting how they never showed like the main characters pooping though, because they didn't want to show them in that light of like, oh no, these two our romantic leads don't poop.
Yeah, exactly. Don't make it awkward.
I don't think they so far in the book, I don't think those two have pooped either, but they did pee.
Keep us informed. Text us when they poop. Let us know.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's movie logic. That's all it is.
Yeah, totally.
If it was like, but that is true. But yeah, if it was 100% like movie logic, they would have just scrapped that whole idea of them pooping at all. And just be like, no,
you need in the movie world. Some character doing it at least.
I think so too. If they hadn't, I would have been what happens when they have to poop?
There was obviously the crucial one where the guy the guy has diarrhea, and that's
Yeah.
like the whole thing. But then there's another instance where someone has to poop, and then
Right,
does it.
exactly. Well, it's just
yeah.
like, you know, you need to establish that there is a risk there. This is how, and like, you know, you obviously you're going to think about this question a lot. So here's the answer. But then like, you don't really need to see it again. You just know that the risk is there.
Yeah. Yep, that's valid.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say or like touch on. I don't know. I don't think so. I really liked this movie though. I mean, I cried the whole time. It really
The long weep
really got me. Yeah. Exactly.
So, Mike, I have a question for you, Cassie. Where does it rank in things that you've seen this year? Is it like the best thing you've seen so far this year, or top 10? What?
It's definitely top 10. I mean, I couldn't give you like an absolute ranking right now because my brain's just not working that way right now. But is it top 10 for sure? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Have you seen the other Stephen King ones that I mentioned, like Life of Chuck and the Monkey?
Sure haven't.
Okay. All right.
Neither have
I meant to see Life
Okay.
of Chuck, but I don't know. I saw very mixed things about it, so I will see it, and I'll be interested to see where I fall. And that my favorite of the year is still Ugly Stepsister, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's still Weapons right now. So.
Mine is still Bring Her Back.
Oh.
Yep. There you go. Dempsey, chime in. What's yours?
What's yours?
Weapons.
Yeah.
And this might be a close second.
Okay.
Really,
Oh.
a close second.
Yeah, but I haven't seen. I haven't seen a lot.
Weapons yet, so like,
I haven't like I just saw the Life of Chuck. I did like the Life of Chuck, but like I'm so behind. Like, so I haven't seen Mickey 17. You know, like the Ugly Stepsister. I haven't seen. A lot of stuff on my list still.
You can hold off on Mickey 17.
I mean, it's just more like keep your expectations in check.
Yeah, there you go.
Like it's not one of it's not the best bong rip out there. So
yeah, it is streaming out there. I think I watched it on like HBO Max or something.
Yeah, it's streaming on HBO Max right now. There's physical and everything. So
do you just as a final thing out of me, do you think Jamie Molnar is the right person based on the rumors and that are going around that he's the one that A24 is getting to do the new Texas Chainsaw? Do you think he, because I've seen both of his films now, the Strange Darling and then now this, and I think that he has the capability of doing kind of a cool idea. I don't think he's capable of doing like just a standard Texas Chainsaw. Do you think that he has it in him to do a standard one, or do you think he would kind of do his own twist on it?
Hard to say. I mean, speaking from the perspective of a creative, like it's hard to really like pigeonhole someone into like a specific like skill set. Like I think a good writer can write pretty much any genre as long as they understand how to create interesting dramatic conflict. Which JT Molnar does in The Long Walk. I haven't seen Strange Darling, so I can't speak on that. But at least with The Long Walk too, like I said, it's a simple premise with really interesting and compelling execution. So I think like with that skill set, you can kind of take any writer for hire jobs or anything like that pretty well, I would imagine.
He's definitely got the brutality down. I mean, The Strange Darling is just as brutal as The Long Walk. It's pretty brutal,
But I didn't expect it to be, but that's all about the way that it's edited together. He definitely had a vision, but A24 wanting him to be involved in them pitching it. I mean, it has to be something unique. I don't think A24 is going to do just standard, Texas Chainsaw.
I don't know. Lately, their output's been a little rough, especially with some of their public ideologies. So
you didn't like Death of a Unicorn?
No, and I didn't like Opus either. Yeah, them being like, we're gonna make mainstream movies now. I'm like, okay, it's not really what I wanted from you.
It must be a TV show, right? Is that what you said, Connor?
No, it's a movie.
Oh, interesting. I agree that I think the brutality is key. And the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposed to be like isn't it supposed to be like a metaphor for something?
It was. I can't remember what. Though.
I think it's about war too, isn't
Vietnam
it?
War reference.
Yeah, it's also the Vietnam War.
There was a lot of that going around at the time. A lot of people were pretty upset about that.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just I just thought it was a take on that serial killer guy. Like that's really all I really got out
No,
of it. 'cause-
I heard it was about there's some movies where when you hear what they're a metaphor for, you're like, really? I know Poltergeist is about like the housing market. Have we ever
Mhm.
talked about this?
No,
Literally-
I've heard about that.
Yes, if you Google it, the movie Poltergeist is about like the housing market in the 80s. It's
I see
insane.
and that they're
yeah.
all houses are on Indian burial grounds.
I don't remember what specifically, like why,
Gentrifying neighborhoods, essentially.
but yeah, it's something like that. It was,
But yeah, no, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I know is based loosely on a true story about a serial killer, but like, but you know, everything's enhanced for the entertainment of the movie, but also like the story is more about thematically the Vietnam War.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Franklin is the most annoying character in cinematic history. I stand on that ground, but as long as he doesn't bring him back for his version. But
We'll
I don't
see.
even remember who Franklin is.
the wheelchair guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, and Dempsey, you were talking briefly that asked if it was a show. The A24 is doing the Crystal Lake show with Peacock.
That's what I mixed it up with. Yeah.
Yeah, and Brian Fuller was on that and
Yeah,
then
but left.
left due to creative differences, and I'm upset.
Yeah. Yep, he left and did that movie that premiered at TIFF and is not getting good reviews.
Oh,
sadly.
really?
Wait, what
Yeah.
movie?
It's called Dust Bunny with Mads Mikkelsen and
Oh.
Sigourney Weaver, and it's about like monsters under the bed and monster
I'll watch it
hunters
anyway.
and
The trailer
stuff.
looks pretty
It
good.
looks
Oh,
really
too bad.
cool,
Yeah,
but
it
it looks
sounds
very visually over the top, and I
Huh.
don't know. It's definitely, I think the average, I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes score, but the average out of 10 I've been seeing is 6 out of 10.
Hmm.
The poster was made with AI.
Oh, that's right. I did see that
Rip.
poster floating around. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
R.I.P. Well, I still like Hannibal, so
I never saw Pushing Daisies, but I heard that's good too.
Pushing Daisies is pretty good too.
Sounds a good show. All right. Well, now that we've given all our thoughts, let's go over our popcorn ratings again to see if anything has changed. I'm going to say I'm still at a full popcorn, maybe even fuller than it was before. I love this movie and I loved hearing you guys talk about it. So let's go around. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, I still stand by that's a must see. I think that it's one that people should go out and see at the theater. I think that it's, I think so far what I've read of the book, I think it's definitely a book to read as well. I mean, just doing back to back. I mean, definitely, I'm a slow reader, so I would recommend if you're also a slow reader, just go see the movie and then read the book because there is enough different with the book that you're going to end up enjoying both. So, but I do think even with those changes from where I'm at in the book, I think this is a really solid, brutal adaptation that really shows how talented Francis Lawrence is outside of the Hunger Games series.
Cool. All right. Let's go, Kevin.
Yeah, so Connor convinced me, so I'm giving it an empty popcorn. No, it's still full popcorn for me. You know, like it's a proof that even though it doesn't pass the Bechdel test, it's a good movie, just like the show. And but honestly though, it is a great movie. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I am shocked every time. Probably like 2 instances of me seeing someone not liking the movie at all. Yeah, it's super weird because I do think it's like platonically like a great movie. Like you can enjoy on any level as long as you like, if you're interested in like a compelling drama, you want to feel moved, you want like an ending that kind of sparks discussion, even though you don't think too critically about movies. This is it. This is right here. There was one more. Oh yeah, in terms of like book versus movie, I think I prefer the movie more than the book, only because the characters are more fleshed out in the movie. It's just you feel more attached to the characters, where it's like the book is mainly about the event itself. So like they have different focuses, but talking about the similar themes. And I think the movie is just a little bit easier to digest, but the book is still, it's not one of Stephen King's best. I give it like maybe a 3.5 out of 5. But it's definitely far from his worst.
Dempsey, what do you think?
I also still love it. I feel a little bit more, having spoken about it, a little bit more comfortable with the ending. But I still do think that, you know, I understand if it's not your cup of tea, but ultimately, personally, I think this is a great
I don't
movie.
understand. I don't understand.
I cannot recommend it enough. I think that Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson do a wonderful job in this movie, as well as the rest of the supporting cast. Cannot wait to see what they do next. Cannot wait to see what JT Molnar does next. And yeah, I haven't seen all of the Stephen King adaptations, but it's definitely one of the best that I have seen.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to the blind kitty cat too. None of us brought up the blind kitty cat.
Oh,
the cat with no eyes that was sitting on the.
Our least favorite character took a picture of him, and
yeah, I know. It was a very sweet kitty. Okay. Anyway, I just had to bring that up. All right, so we all love this movie, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The story.
I would say.
So go see it in the theater if you have the means. Gosh, what a picture! All right, guys, are we? Anything else? Are we good to go?
I mean, I just want one more note. Francis Lawrence, like I don't like the Mockingjay movies. I haven't seen the latest Hunger Games movie, but I love Catching Fire, and I really like this one. So he seems like the director where it's like, if you give him the right material, he can make it work.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm also on the boat that Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 is not really my thing. I haven't rewatched them since I saw them in theaters. But yeah, definitely the first two Hunger Games. I really like cannot remember the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or something like that with Rachel Ziegler. I thought that was
Ballad
really good.
Of Two Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. My bad. So that one, and then I also the latest one I loved. That they have not made it into the film yet, but the book I could not get enough of it, so I cannot wait for his adaptation that's going to come out. It's going to tear me up. But
thanks for listening to the Cinefied Podcast. You can find more of our episodes as well as our written reviews, interviews, and retrospectives on cinefied.com. So be sure to follow us on Letterboxd as well as all major social media platforms to stay up to date with our reviews. Now pop some popcorn, grab a drink, and remember to stay #Cinefied.